when it hurts like this. We climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like, but that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, when it hurts like this, ever like, ever like, ever like, when it hurts like this. We hold each other high, but we fall 1,000 times. But I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way.
Hello, everybody. What's going on, guys? Hello. What's up, my friends? I hope everybody's doing well, doing good. I am your host, Spanishdude, and welcome for another beautiful TacoCast. I hope everybody's doing well, doing good. And today we have some wonderful guests joining us. So we have Zombie Go Numb. I love that name. It's so great. And then we have Ugly Stewie. Ugly Stewie, how you doing, buddy? And of course, we have the epic Chadley and the beautiful Mama Remy. Before I forget, guys, I sent in the list, Zombie, in the Discord chat. If you
I've got it right here.
You got it? Perfect. Just
Yep,
making
I'll pull
sure.
it up.
Beautiful. All right. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. Hello, everyone coming in the chat. How is everyone doing today? I hope your weekend has been great. I know mine has been super busy. You know what? Let's go ahead and start it like we always start. And I want to know what's new and exciting with all of you. So, how is everybody doing? What's new and exciting? And what's happening on your channels? So, guys, before I forget, I didn't put all the links in the description below. So while you guys are talking, I will be adding those links, if that's all right. So let's start with Zombie. Go ahead, buddy. What's new and exciting? What is happening on your channel? And please let us know about yourself. Go ahead.
A lot of Persona. A lot. I didn't know how long that game was going to be, but Persona, October's coming. I'm a horror streamer, so all of October is Halloween for me, so horror games, lots. And I'm building lots of Legos.
Boom,
And
Legos.
that's it. That's what we do. We do Legos on the stream. We're doing a lot of horror stuff, and we play Splatoon.
Hey, can't go.
Very simple.
Yeah, can't go wrong with Splatoon.
I know, right? I love Splatoon.
Looks like I actually did. I was responsible and I did put everybody's link. Yay!
Yay! Excitement!
Right. Let's go ahead. Oh, thank you for subscribing. DOA, welcome to the TacoTeam. Welcome to the family.
Is it DOA Hitman? It is DOA Hitman. Hello,
It is
my
DOA
friend.
Hitman.
Indeed,
Nice.
Delightful.
Let's go
Welcome,
ahead.
peeps.
That's awesome. These are your peeps.
Yes, these are some lovely peeps.
Oh, that's awesome. There we go. The family is growing. Ugly Stewie, what about you, my friend? What's new and exciting? Tell me what's going on with your channel.
Not much has been happening on my channel recently because I've been really busy with rehearsing for theatre show, which is starting at the end of the month.
Oh, snap! We're being
bald
raided.
raid.
Sorry, we're being raided.
It's a bald raid.
It's a bald raid.
Bald raid!
Welcome, Bald Gamer. What's up, Raiders? How's it going? I didn't turn on any of the commands, guys, because it hasn't been working for some reason. Thank you, Bald Gamer, guys. Bald Gamer is a wonderful streamer. He took the time to raid us. We could take the time to check his channel out. Here's his link.
If y'all haven't seen them, they are absolutely amazing, by the way. Big
Yes.
fan of Bald.
Oh, me too. Okay, Ugly Stewie, sorry, buddy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So many amazing people
yeah,
here.
mostly been rehearsing for the minstrel, so everything on my channel has slowed down for the time being.
Oh, okay.
And any YouTube stuff that I have been doing has actually been going somewhere else, which it's on another channel where I'm trying to like improve my acting skills and my singing and all that
Okay.
stuff. So it's separate from
That's
my gaming.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. Are you excited for your show?
Quite excited. It's actually going to be the last one they ever do. This is the 60th year they've been doing the show.
Oh,
And
wow.
then closing it down after this.
That's awesome. Thank you, Bald, for the raid, man. I super appreciate that. Thank you, brother. How are you, Rick? How did your stream go, my friend? Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's great, Ugly Stewie. Dude, that's exciting. Well, you're a good singer, so I'm very excited. I wish I could go see you, but unfortunately, I can't take a flight. Don't worry. It's all practice, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
Chadley, what about you, my friend? What's new and exciting with you? What's going on your channel?
Well, the last couple weeks I've been just playing stuff that I don't normally play, like mostly multiplayer stuff because I was celebrating my birthday and all that kind of stuff. So I was doing a lot of like, I was playing Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, did a little bit of Smash. So like we were doing all kind of multiplayer stuff just to kind of get the community more involved. Normally I don't do a lot of multiplayer stuff just because I know with Nintendo games, a lot of the lag issues and stuff kind of ruins the fun for me. So I only do them like sparingly. I don't play a lot of the multiplayer games right now until Nintendo decides to actually give us a good online experience. But I must say that the Super Nintendo games, though, I did have fun with those. I did have fun with those games because the lag and stuff wasn't nearly as bad with those games as it is like what I remember with the NES games. But yeah, so that's what it was. Like I turned 40 back on the 25th, so that was big celebration that we were trying to do on the channel and stuff. So yeah, I had a lot of fun.
That's right. And then I never got a chance because I was busy. As most of you know, I'm selling my house, so I've been very busy getting views and getting things set up here. But happy birthday, Chadley! Everybody hashtag happy birthday to Chadley. Show him some love.
Chadley!
Thank you.
Me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Chadley. Happy birthday to you. I owed you one.
Thank you.
I did have a party popper on my desk that was going to pop for him, but I can't find
Right? Oh, man. Mama Remy, what's new with you, hon? How are you?
I'm good. Not really too much on the channel to report besides next week's my birthday. So I'm gonna
Another
do, like,
birthday.
Splatoon, like yeah, so we're doing like Splatoon like all week long to kind of celebrate with everybody. But like in my off time, I've been playing Breath of Fire.
I know, I've been seeing.
I know! It's so good though! It's like that old school RPG that I love, and you have to like grind and go through like dungeons and like get party members and get armor and like fight bad guys and bosses, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, why did I thought I killed this boss. What the crap is this? A second wind? They get like another health pool I have to get through? What is this? So it's like really hard. It's really challenging, and I'm actually quite enjoying it.
That is awesome. No, that is awesome. That's fantastic. Nothing interesting to report on my end, unfortunately. Like I said, we've been busy getting this move going and this house set up, and I've been, like last week, we've been just basically canceling streams because everybody's just been coming. Oh, we're coming at 11 o'clock a.m. until 9 p.m. So in and out traffic here. Other than that, though, I think we're calming down. I'm able to get some streams in. Tomorrow I'll be able to get some streams in. And then the only time it'll stop will be the day we decide to move and get things going around here. But other than that, it's been good. The channel's been, it's been steady. It's been great. I've been getting a lot of support lately, which has been awesome. So yeah, I have, other than that, it's all been great. All been dandy. All right. Let's jump into it, guys, because we have lots to talk about this TacoCast. So many things happened this month. Lots of goodies. Let's go ahead and jump into the one that everybody's been waiting for. Besides Nintendo, we're going to get to Nintendo. But PlayStation finally did their State of Play. If you guys watched it, did you think it was strong or did you think it was weak? And let me know what you're excited for, if you are excited for anything on PlayStation side. I can tell you I'm not excited, only just one. But let's go ahead and start with Zombie, because sounds like you have some things to say.
Okay. I've always played on pretty much two consoles, PlayStation, Nintendo. I got pretty excited to hear we're finally getting the State of Play. It was kind of cool to see them emulate the Nintendo Directs. I was like, okay, this is cool. And it is done in such a poor fashion. And they made us wait for so long. We got nothing at E3, nothing. Yep. And it was probably the most disappointing letdown of an announcement I've seen in a long time, especially from Sony. Sony's a powerhouse. Mm-hmm. They have great exclusives. This looked kind of like Nintendo's Indie Direct more than an actual like here's what we have. We were all expecting all kinds of other all kinds of actual heavy hitting news, where we literally just the only big news we got was we got a little bit from Death Stranding, nowhere near enough in my personal opinion, and a little bit on Last of Us 2, which is great. I've been waiting for more Last of Us 2. Just anything, please. I'm a horror fanatic. They gave us 2 cool horror things, and then everything else was little indie titles no one's ever heard of. Which, I mean, I love indie. I play a ton of it, but they barely show anything with it. There was no oomph behind it. No nothing. This was. What did they make us wait for?
Yeah.
And the we have the PlayStation Plus stuff this time around. We get baseball, which I like baseball, whoop-de-doo, but I mean, baseball isn't a game you give to like everybody. I mean, like it's kind of like when they gave out soccer a couple months ago. Yeah. Everyone who wasn't in the UK lost their stuff over this. So now they're doing the same thing with baseball. The only people in the US are going to care about it, and they're not going to care that much about it.
Yeah.
And we get The Last of Us. I like The Last of Us. That's awesome. We should have gotten that months ago. But that's me. I guess that's just me. And hello, MT. Hello, my friend.
No, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, no, for sure. Mr. Ugly Stewie, what are your thoughts on State of Play?
Well, I just had to rush through it before the actual podcast started, but a couple of things that I am excited for is LA Noire VR, which is now making me want to get a PS VR, because I played that probably over a year ago by now, and I quite enjoyed it. It made me use my brain and stuff. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's pretty much the only one I'm most excited for. Another one I'm excited for next month. It's not coming out. PS Plus, Last of Us. I've not had a chance to play that yet, so this is something I'm looking forward to playing.
No, for sure. No, I agree 100%. Here, let me just quickly. I'm gonna mod you, Zombie, so that way I know who is talking and everybody. By the way, guys, okay. If you have any questions for any of us, just ping me so I can see my name, and then I'll copy and paste that question, and we will answer your questions at the end of the stream, if that's all right with all of you. Mama Remy, what are your thoughts on State of Play?
I like Nintendo's better. See, I'm an open-minded gamer, because I even if I can't play the game, I'll still support other people playing it. I'll go watch their Let's Plays or their streams.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of games that are coming up, like Death Stranding and Cyberpunk and stuff like that I'm really looking forward to, but I can't personally play them, so I'm going to support the streamers that are playing it and kind of follow along with them, and then I'll just piece together myself. So I do look forward to other games that don't necessarily come out on Nintendo, which is about the only console that besides the Xbox that I have access to. The games didn't interest me at all, except for there was this one. It was Medieval or something like that. It was
Medieval. Yeah.
That looks amazing.
It looks good. I've never heard of it, so it's like a remaster or something, or a re-release.
Yes.
And it looks really good. Just because it reminded me kind of like a Nightmare Before Christmas, and I love that movie. So it kind of reminded me of the kind of cartoony, creepy, indie vibe. So I'm looking forward to that. And then The Last of Us 2 was the only good part about it. So I can understand why Sony pulled out at E3, because they don't have really anything to report, which at the same time, I feel like they're not really gonna push too much for these state of plays, because with the the PlayStation 5 coming out here soon, they're gonna save all their heavy hitters for when that comes out, so people get super excited and have to buy that console because like these new games are coming out on it.
For sure. No, I agree with you. Chadley, what about you, my friend?
I'm in the same boat as Mama Remy because I mean I've said this before. I don't really have much access to anything PlayStation other than the original.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also honestly I didn't watch the state of play, but just by pulling up a recap of it, like the only games that and these have been announced previously too. So like Death Stranding, Last of Us Part 2, like those look really good. Like I could see myself enjoying watching people play through those games because I've watched a little bit of the first Last of Us, which intrigued me. Like I could see myself enjoying playing that game, and the second Part 2 just looks amazing. And then Death Stranding, that just intrigues me because I have no idea what the heck is going on with that game.
For sure.
Plus all the famous likenesses of the actors and stuff just is really cool too, just to be able to see a lot of familiar faces like in that game. I love it when they do that with the actors that they try to hire for these games, where they're bringing their likenesses into the games now, similar to the whole Keanu Reeves reveal of that other game, Cyberpunk. So that was really cool. Medieval.
Breathtaking.
Yeah, I never played Medieval, but yeah, that's another one that looks like it'd be a fun game to play as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess they announced Civilization 6 for PlayStation 4, which kind of was weird because that game's been out for a while, but I guess just now is finally making its way to the PlayStation. So
there we go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. I was very disappointed again. I mean, that's the third time they disappointed me with State of Play. It's an ongoing thing, looks like. But I am a big fan of Medieval. I played that game to death when I was younger, 100% it so many times. So I'm very fanboyish, and when that game came out, I got extremely excited, and so I'm very looking forward to that one. Last of Us 2 was the only thing that I was waiting for a release date for, and I was happy to get it. I was surprised that we got a release date for Death Stranding? Stranding? Yeah.
Oh, we've had a release date for that one actually
for a while, right? So it's now like I know they confirmed.
November.
Yeah, November something. And then I saw they're releasing a special edition PlayStation with it, which I think they announced before, right? I'm pretty sure I saw it before.
That was new.
Or was that new?
That was new.
Okay.
It was leaked at the Tokyo Game Show, but
okay, it was a leak then. I remember they mentioned it before, so that was nice. It was nice to see that. Everything else didn't really interest me. I mean, I saw something about Call of Duty, and I was like, well, I'll skip over that because I'm not interested in that. And nothing else really, other than the LA Noire VR, I thought was kind of cool. I got into LA Noire, I got to play it, and I thought it was really well done. So the fact they're bringing a VR kind of intrigues me, but not as much as Medieval, Last of Us, and the other one, But other than that, I mean, I think they're going to have to step up their game. I know they said that they're just preparing for PS5, but they definitely have to do something about it quick because...
Where's our PS5 info then? That's
the thing, right?
Prime opportunity. They're going to tell us we're preparing for PS5. Then show us something cool, man.
Exactly. We're not getting much from them, so... Oh, Mr. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I will admit, I was really excited for Medieval as well, but it was so underwhelming because that's one of the games I'm looking forward to most this year.
Yeah.
The thing was so underwhelming, I forgot they even said anything about Medieval during that. I even went through a couple months ago when they announced it and played the original on PS1.
Yeah.
Because I was hyped for it. And I forgot all about it after this because they overshadow it with a bunch of just mediocrity.
And that's the thing, right? Like, and... and one of the things is like Medieval, I know that it went through a bunch of changes because they didn't like the way the graphics were going, and now they've done it where they're really happy with it. But you would think they would put a lot of hype to that game because in the PlayStation 1 it was already underwhelmed and nobody really knew about it. It was one of those, and now they're re-releasing a game like that. I would think they would want to push it more. They pushed Spiral like crazy. but
Yeah.
not at all for
Well-
Medieval, which I'm kind of shocked.
Trick to that is that it's because Activision now owns Spyro and Crash. That's why they got pushed so hard.
That's
While Sony
true.
owns the IP for Medieval,
Yeah, which is very true. That's very true. Oh well.
because Activision hypes anything. I'm not the biggest Activision fan, but man, you'll know their game's coming.
No, for sure, for sure. All right, let's go on to the next question. This one's kind of this one actually affects a lot of us because not only for jobs but also for the gaming world in general. So GameStop closes 200 plus stores. What can this mean for gamers when it comes to physical versus digital copies of video games? And is this something good or bad for mom and pop shops? So them closing that many stores was actually a big surprise. Apparently here in Canada, I know they closed a couple of them, but they said they're going strong, which really confused me because I don't really understand what's going on. But yeah, like a lot of people were complaining saying that they prefer physical copy versus digital copy. I mean, some people are fearing that this is the end for physical copy games, but a lot of mom and pop shops are saying that this is a good opportunity for them because that means they're going to be able to get a lot more clientele. So let's go ahead and jump with Zombie. What are your thoughts on all this, my friend?
First off, with the closings, I'm going to be honest, they've been kind of sloping for a long time. They've just been kind of like on a downward hit for a while. They've changed a lot of their stuff. They get a lot less physical copies of games in anyway. Like there's several times you go in for a game, you're not going to find it, especially if it's new. With the closings coming, like for one, I will go ahead and fully state that it's going to suck for employees there. Quick spoiler: I was let go because of that, as well as a bunch of other people in our area. So that happened, and no ill will to him. My boss was great, and this, that, and the other. But that happened. A lot of people are going to kind of wind up out on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as mom and pop shops are concerned, they for one will be able to get more clientele from companies that'll be willing to sell them the games and give them a vendor license for them. So be looking for an outlet for physical copies because there's still a decent demand for them. But also it won't be in the physical games because places like Best Buy still sell tons of physical games. Walmart, Kmart, Targets, they all still sell tons of physical games. And there are a lot of places that don't. A lot of people still don't like just going exclusively digital. Even me, someone who owns tons of digital games, will never go 100% digital. I like having that box to say, "Look, I got a pretty game," and a lot of us do. Even the most hardcore digital person like saying, "Look, I got a pretty box."
Mm-hmm.
They like having that game, especially with people not liking the fact that they can't sell their digital copies. Like a digital copy doesn't hold any actual real value to it. I think it's honestly a great opportunity for mom and pop shops to be able to branch out more, get a bigger clientele, be able to get new games into their stores. But I also think it's also going to increase a lot of online retailers selling physical copies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Places like Amazon Amazon's like one of the biggest competitors to GameStop. I hear tons of people will cancel pre-orders at GameStop. I used to see customers do it all the time to pre-order through Amazon, to get it through Amazon, because they'll get their day of or even a day early.
Yeah.
And they get all the super swanky stuff that GameStop gets. Why go to a store when it can just come directly to your house? But I think we're still at least another 5-ish years away from going pure digital, even if GameStop disappears in that time frame.
For sure. Yeah, I know, and I 100% agree with you. I always thought they would do, like, because Canada was saying that they were going to go all merchandise if something were to happen. But, I mean...
There's been talks about that here in the U.S.
Yeah, like my one friend works for the EB Games here. Well, if you guys don't know, here in Canada it's called EB Games, but it is GameStop. And I know that he was telling me that his store basically has changed completely. They have little like all their sections of games for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch are on 2 racks now, and everything else is basically merchandise, and that's what they're surviving off of apparently. So
they were calling them ThinkGeek stores. They're not called that anymore. They're really just being called GameStops because they're removing the ThinkGeek license from them as a name brand now. So they're going, but essentially it's the ThinkGeek stores. They're also doing like tabletop gaming in some stores now, which I love tabletop gaming, but that's really weird.
For sure.
It's like, why I don't want to go play D&D at a place where I wanted to go buy Mario Like, come on, man. I just want to buy my Mario.
No, for sure, for sure. Ugly Stewie, I know that you don't have GameStop, but what are your thoughts on this whole situation, and what do you think that maybe it would affect little stores that do sell video games?
Well, like I said before, I don't really know much about it because we have different stores over here
Of course, yeah.
for games, and the biggest one we have over here, I won't go into details of it. We have HMV, which is gaming, and music and movies. So that's pretty much the only thing we get over here.
Wow. So HMV is still there. Like here in Canada, it's gone. They
Oh,
died
you
out.
actually know HMV? I didn't realize it was actually all over the world. That one.
Oh, yeah, that one disappeared here. It died quickly, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be really bad for those who would prefer physical copies, because I can understand why they would prefer physical copies, because when they get bored of it, they can sell it and get some money back on it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Chadley, what are your thoughts on all this?
I know they were like they just had too many stores for one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the mall that's near me has 2 stores in the mall. One on the one floor. Well, actually, they're both on the same floor, so it's kind of like I think they just overpopulated themselves with stores for one. Again, like Zombie said, some of them might have been either converted to the ThinkGeek type stores or were added as those ThinkGeek type stores. I know the one in our mall is very narrow. Does have majority of it is like all merchandise and stuff for the most part. Now it does have some. It still has like a whole wall full of different games and stuff. But I remember when the whole place was just nothing but games. And then the middle of the store was really where all the merchandise was. Now they're like making more and more room for merchandise and less room for games. What really intrigues me though is the other bit of information that they released about almost like they're trying out a new branding strategy. Zombie kind of alluded to it a little bit by saying about the tabletop gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there's some like mom and pop type stores that's what they do. Like they try to integrate all types of gaming into their store, including card games, board games, strategy games, video games. Like they try to bring the whole community together, and then allowing to have tournaments and all that kind of stuff there at the store. And it seems like GameStop is going in that direction, that they're going to try it out to see if that's maybe their new direction that they can go to try to save their stores that they're keeping open, or maybe they're just thinking about rebranding too. Who knows? But that was what intrigued me the most after, like, yes, it sucks that the 200 stores closed. It sucks that Zombie had to be affected by it like that, amongst many other people.
We bounce back. I'm okay, I swear.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. I mean, being laid off, I mean, it sucks no matter how you look at it or how you talk about it. But yeah, like, so I don't know. At least it seems like they're trying to reinvent themselves so that they can stay in business instead of just like kind of throwing their hands up and giving up. So
Yeah. No, for sure. Mama Remy, what are your thoughts?
Like the whole thing with GameStop, like I just asked to chat earlier. It's like I remember, like I used to work at FYE. That was like my first job, like ever. And I remember prior to me working there, it was only like cassette tapes and CDs, and that was it. And by the time I got to work there, like the cassette tape section was like this big, and then there was like 3 rows of CDs. Actually there was 4, and then they took the 4th one out. And then they started putting in like anime and movies and like t-shirts and like hats and book bags and like these box sets, and that had nothing to do with like music. It was all music at first, and then it turned into like not music. So, and then at least the one at the mall here in town, it went out. It's no longer around here. So that's why it's like, I wonder if it's even around, because like it went out. I haven't seen it even at the malls. Like there's like 2 or 3 malls around here, like about half hour away. And it's not even there. So I'm wondering if like they're forced to sell all this extra stuff to make up money for the amount of money that they're losing because of like digital games. But when it comes to physical versus digital, there's some games that I do want digital because I want to be able to play them, like all the time and not wear out the cartridge. Like Undertale. I don't want to go out and buy a physical copy of Undertale. I just want to download it, because it's going to take 5 seconds to download. It's cheap. I don't want to have to go out and, whatever. But if I want to get like, I'm just going to use an example because I know Zombie's got it, like Octopath Traveler, the collector's edition. I love that game.
It's so pretty.
I want the box set so I can, I want the physical copy so I can put it on my bookshelf and be like, yes, I love this game because it comes with all this neat crap. And it's like, I want to be able to keep that. And you can't do that with the digital copy, but you want to do that with a physical copy. And then you have all these like gaming collectors out there that, try to collect every single game for like certain consoles, or like all the Zelda games, or all the Mario games, or all like the Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that. And you can't do that with a digital copy. So there's always going to be a need or a want for physical. It's just, is it going to outweigh to the point where they're going to stop selling physical copies and only do digital?
Yeah,
that would suck.
Yeah, that would definitely suck for sure.
We could also have another PT situation.
True.
I don't like that. Sega did the same thing with their phone games for a while too. Everything went away. I don't like that. I don't like not owning my games, literally.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, for sure. I 100% agree with you. One of the things, it's funny, one of the things that I talked about this a couple months ago. I was sponsored by a little mom and pop shop for a while. And one day, out of nowhere, he's like, we're going out of business, bye. And it was like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, he just kind of just dropped me, and it was like, okay. And then the worst part is, it was a time when Mario Maker was just about to come out and he had been sponsoring a contest. So because he just dropped out, I had to go out and buy the copy that he promised to give to people because of that situation, which wasn't a bad, whatever, I was able to get away from that. And the funny thing is, a couple of months ago, when everything started closing about EV Games, he reopened his store and it launched, and he messaged me again and was like, hey, guess what? The store's back and we're doing really good because we're doing tabletop stuff too now. So it's like, well, okay. And he was telling me it's because of the EB Games dropping. And I was like, well, that's all fine and dandy. So I see there's positive out of it. But when it slows down, are you going to do this? Our mom and pop's going to do the same thing again, where it's just like, okay, guys, we can't because nobody's buying. That's my only fear, that people will want to go full digital. And I personally don't think it's going to happen, because everybody always wants a physical copy. Look at the old games. Everybody's always looking for an old copy of a game, be it PlayStation, SNES, or whatever. But who knows, right? It's scary. It's scary for sure, especially for those who have jobs in those type of mom and pop shops, But hopefully, God willing, nothing happens. And if you guys are working at stores like that, hopefully it doesn't affect you. And if it did, hopefully you're picking yourself up. And I mean, there's always opportunities up there. Never give up, right? It's the biggest thing. All right, guys. Speaking of games and things like that going out of business, Telltale is coming back, according to news press, from a studio is actually picking them up and purchased all their assets. And the company is LCG Entertainment. So what does this mean for all our favorite games that have been coming out, that they did come out? And are they gonna bring out newer games for us to play? So let's go ahead and start with Zombie again.
I don't know a lot about the new buyout, but I'm hoping what this means is that, for one, I get to see a continuation of Batman. I love what Telltale was doing with Batman. I was very impressed with how they took it. I didn't think I was going to be. Being a Batman fanatic, I'm very harsh on that kind of thing, but I'm hoping this is my chance to see more Batman, because that story was going so well. I loved it. It was pretty. Other than that, the Telltale Batman games and the Telltale Walking Dead games were pretty much all I played. I touched here and there a little bit on the other ones, but Walking Dead's finally finished. I don't know if they'll do anything else with it. They've ended Clementine's story and all this, that, and the other, so I don't know if they're going to do anything else with it. But more Batman. I'm all about more Batman. Come on, please.
Now, was that, I can't remember what it's called, the one about that wolf guy, is that part of their group?
Wolf Among Us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us. That's right.
I've never
That-
played it, but I
oh.
heard it's incredible.
Remy poked me and was like, go play Wolf Among Us. Oh no, Wolf Among Us is
Now?
great. It is so good. It is so good. It's based on the American McGee's Grim Fairy Tale series. If y'all haven't played it, oh my god, like shameless plug for Telltale Games. Go play that game. For the love of God. It is so good. It can get kind of violent, but oh my god, is it good. It is so pretty. Oh, it's probably the most gorgeous looking one out of all of them art wise. It's so but after that, go play Batman. Sorry. That's about all I know.
By the way, guys, if you haven't already, definitely in the description below is all these beautiful people's links. Go click on them because as cool as they are on here, they are on their channel. Believe me, you'll love them all. Ugly Stewie, what about you, my friend?
Well, excuse me. I was looking up some Telltale earlier, and apparently the only game I've ever actually played by Telltale was Minecraft Story Mode. I thought I played a lot more than that. So I guess when it comes to favorite games, it would have to be Minecraft Story Mode. And I enjoy those kind of games because it's you get these choices that can affect your progress through the game, and it will give you different scenes and endings. But that's pretty much all I can say because, like I said, I haven't played anything else apparently when I look through the list of Telltale games.
I only played Walking Dead, and I stopped at season 2, I believe, like the end of season 2. And I haven't played it more. And I have to go back. I have to go back. Chadley, what about you, my friend? What have you played any of the games?
Actually, I don't think I've ever played any Telltale game ever. So, but there are a lot that I've known about. Like, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan, so like I was very curious to play through Back to the Future, the game, I guess is what they call it, from back in 2010.
That's right, they did make that, and a Jurassic Park one as well.
Oh, they did?
They made a Jurassic Park one?
Yes, and it's hilarious.
Oh,
man.
jeez.
It's
I
kind
gotta
of
check
bad,
that out.
but the Back to the Future one is phenomenal. It's just
Well,
really
most of the Jurassic Park games are bad, so.
yeah, I will agree.
But
That's what makes them fun.
yeah. Apparently, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Oh, I was waiting. I was like, no one's gonna mention it.
Yeah, I'm just looking through, I'm looking through the list now just to see which ones. That my fear is that Telltale, because they were working on one for Stranger Things, and because they shut down the rights to Stranger Things, went back to Netflix, which is probably why that other game came out that they released. Because
that Pixel one.
Yeah, that was probably their replacement for not being able to have one be made by Telltale.
I think that would have been better than the Telltale one because it has that retro 8-bit vibe. It's so good.
Yeah. I've seen things, but I haven't played it yet. But so that's my fear, is that a lot of the rights that they used to have before they shut down, that they may not have those rights anymore. So hopefully Batman, like if they did lose the rights, that they'd be able to negotiate to get Batman back. But yeah, so that's what I'm fearing, is that like they have all these awesome franchises that they made games for, but now I'm wondering that because they got bought back by another agency, and like what actually do they, like what things do they have access to that they had before? Nothing has been said from what I can tell. So either they're going to be coming out with all new kinds of stuff, or they're making new deals with other companies to like be able to get these like awesome IPs that we all know and love, to be able to bring them to the gaming front that maybe they haven't been in the past. So,
Fingers crossed.
Right? Fingers crossed. That's all we can say.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to check out some of these Telltale games because, yeah, my list keeps growing and growing, and I just can't.
I know we can't keep up with. I know it, right?
The hazards of being a gamer and a streamer.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
many games, not enough time.
exactly.
never.
Why? Mama Remy, what are your thoughts on all this?
This whole thing like makes me want to pull my hair out, because if you think about it, like these people showed up for work one day at Telltale, and they're like, "Oh, here's a biscuit, here's a cup of coffee, and a box to clear out your desk because you're fired." It's like, Like, what the crap? You know, they're doing all these hard work on all these really cool games, and then when they bought this new company, bought Telltale, out, and they're coming back to finish. I think they're finishing the the Walking
They-
Dead series.
They
I think
did
that's what it
finish
is.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they hired only a select few back for that. They didn't hire everybody that lost their jobs. So it's like, oh yeah, we're going under. Everyone's losing their jobs except for like these 5. And then it's like, okay, well, once the game's done, you guys, you lose your job. So then you lose your job completely. And then it's like, oh, have another company. I'm going to come over here and buy, your company out so you can keep doing this. It's like, well, where were you like 3 months ago? So I could have kept my job. So now all these people are like extremely salty over this. And only a few people got their jobs back. So it's like, oh, I have a job. No, I don't have a job. Oh, I have a job. For how long? How long are they going to acquire the rights to this? So then after a while, is it even going to be Telltale Games anymore? Are they just keeping the name because of like the style of gameplay that they do? Because it looks like Borderlands 3, right? I think that's the style of game that it looks like, with like the dark lines and stuff.
They even made They actually made a Tales from the Borderlands game for Telltale.
Yeah. So it's like, was someone gonna buy that out? But no, totally. The Wolf Among Us and Guardians of the Galaxy are the the best Telltale games besides.
Besides Batman, yes.
I love cel shading.
I actually need to play the Guardians of the Galaxy when I have Guardians of the Galaxy art all over my office from that game,
Oh,
and I haven't played it.
I didn't get a chance to play the Wolf, and I heard it was really good. And the Borderlands game, I saw it, but I didn't try it. And then, like I said, the only one I really got a chance to try was the Walking Dead. And I did try the first time when PlayStation offered all 3 episodes was the Back to the Future one. But I never got a chance to try any of the games, and I really regret it now. But with them coming back, I need to pick them up and try them, because I always hear good things about all of them. I missed out. I missed out.
Indeed. You need to, man. You'll enjoy it. I forgot how many of them I had actually played, because I forgot they were actually Telltale Games, like the Jurassic Park one and the Back to the Future one. They're both great. I just forgot they were Telltale, because that was before Walking Dead came out.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think they have them acquiring this, I think is a good idea on their end, and hopefully maybe some of the people who worked for them for Telltale will be able to get some jobs back. Hopefully, we'll see. It always comes down always the same thing with jobs. It sucks, unfortunately. Oh, the gaming world, I tell you. All right, guys. So we haven't got a lot from them, but the PS5 has been showing some incredible things. So one of the things that was shown was the incredible load times with the SSD, which has been stupidly amazing. If you're a computer guy, solid state drives are ridiculously fast already. They can go from 5 seconds to 2 seconds loading, which is amazing. And they showed it off for the PS5 with Spider-Man, and it was incredible, like 2-second loading time versus the minute to 60 seconds, the 50 seconds that people have been getting with load times, which is incredible. Not only that, but Square Enix came out and they showed off some video development that they made, prototype for next gen console, and they're saying that they're using this new technique called path tracing that naturally simulates many effects that ray tracing actually does. So in basic form, basically it takes care of soft shadows, so making shadows look a lot softer, reflections, depth of view, motion blur. All of those effects are now being able to be processed in a different manner versus ray tracing, because for those who don't know, ray tracing takes a heavy hit when it comes to coding. But this is what Square Enix has done, and they showed it off, and they were showing it off with a 2060. So a video card that's stupidly amazing for the PC. But they're saying that that's what they're going to be able to do with next-gen consoles as well, which is very big. And they were saying they tested it out on the PS5, and they were blown out of the water because they were able to reduce it 100% at 60 frames a second, which is amazing news. Do you guys think that PS5 and next gen is going to be the way to go? And are they going to be able to compete with the PC master race when I come to say that? Or do you think that this is just gonna be, you know, it's gonna come out and then PCs is gonna come over top again? So let's start with Zombie.
From someone who does a lot of PC and PlayStation gaming, PC and console gaming in general, it is done both pretty much side by side, all the way back dating to like the Commodore 64 and Commodore 128 computer models, like way back in the 80s. It's always been kind of a struggle for console to keep up with many types of PCs, especially after like the late 90s. It got really difficult for consoles to keep up with that. After seeing what the PS5 can do, I think it can come ridiculously close. I think it's going to be able to at least go toe to toe with what we like to call like high quality build. Not necessarily like the god tier builds that you'll get out there that do way more than they're ever supposed to or will ever need to do. But it'll definitely, I definitely finally see consoles being able to go literally toe to toe with what we would call a high performance machine. Essentially what like a lot of streamers use to do basic streaming with, and to do like what we do here. I think that they'll have consoles that have that kind of power behind them. Though I will admit the PS5's prototype model looks insanely ugly.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Just throw that out there. Just man, that look. But I from everything I've seen, like I watched the Spider-Man. Like we've all watched like the little Spider-Man demo they put out there.
Yeah.
I've played it on PS4, and then seeing that, like most PC games I play, and I have a high-end rig, don't do that. Like, I would have to upgrade and spend even more to compare to that, and that's insane. That a console has that kind of power, because a lot of us are running on fairly newer rigs now, and even then, like holy crap! Like I never thought I'd see the day a console would do that. Like I was expecting the jump from PS4 to PS5 to kind of just be a boot nudge, kind of like the Wii U going from the Switch as far as graphic quality. Yeah, it's a night and day thing. This is going to be insane, and I'm excited. And I may wind up putting a lot more time in console than I'm going to be putting in my PC.
For sure. And I forgot today. Oh, there's the kitty!
Tiny cat!
Look, he's so tiny.
It's such a tiny cat.
Oh my god,
pretty baby.
I did forget to mention that. So according to Sony, this is big, because I know everybody's been worried about how much the new consoles are gonna go for. People are saying 600, people are saying 7, some people are going up to 1,000. Sony is saying that they're gonna be able to keep costs extremely low with the PS5. And now they're saying that it might be able to compete with the PS4, the original one. And that's a lot to say. That's like, yeah, that's a lot to say. So I know some people are very excited about that. To say that?
Another cat! Sorry.
Oh my god, he's big. Look how big he is.
Oh, he's getting so big.
He's like, what's up, guys?
Regal kitty.
I know.
But I will believe the pricing thing when I see it.
Hey, me too.
That seems way too good to be true.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. I doubt we will ever see a console anywhere near 1K mark with the fall of Panasonic 3DO. Hey, yeah, I mean, well, PlayStation 3 here was $799. So I bought my PS3 with one game and the console, and it cost me $1,200 when it first came out.
I boycotted the PS3 when it first came out because that price tag was insane, though.
Yeah, so
a lot of people I knew did. I'm not an Xbox person. I bought a 360. Yeah, hands down, because I had to play Dead Space. But I refuse to spend that kind of money on a PlayStation.
For sure. Do I think there's going to be multiple? So there's rumor that Sony might be looking at a PS5 Pro, but I think that was more that they had two models that they had brought out on a piece of paper where they put Pro and regular. But they're saying that the reason why they have a Pro and the regular was because they were like, maybe if we push more into the Pro, we could just sell that instead of selling the regular PS5, the idea they have for it. But I don't know. I think it'd be dumb if they did multiple at this point. They're not even saying anything about the PS5 in general. So I think it'd be a big mistake on their end right now to even think about releasing a second one if they haven't even talked about the first one. Ugly Stewie, what are your thoughts on the PS5, my friend?
PS5, well, at first I thought, okay, it's just going to be another console. I'll wait for it to become old and get a second-hand console, because that's usually what I do with my other consoles. But now that I've actually seen the trailer and what we're going to be getting, the fact that we're going to be able to put PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games into the same console, I was freaking out when I saw that, and it's now making me want to go to the shops and get every single one of my favorite PS1 and PS2 games and bring them home just so I can end up streaming them and reliving those epic memories.
No, for sure, and I 100% agree with you. I forgot about that. I forgot they had mentioned that it was going to be backwards compatible.
Same with that, actually. Another reason to keep mom and pop stores around.
Right? Exactly. That's going to help. That's going to help for sure. Yeah. Mama Remy, what are your thoughts? You have that angry look to you.
I kind of do, because...
angry mom, I know.
Well, no, because like everyone knows, like I'm PC master race, because I've been like a PC gamer for the last 20 years. That's why when I got the Switch, I always tell everybody I suck at it, because like I've only been playing a console for the last couple of months. I'm not used to it. So like Mario Maker is really hard for me, because I have to still, and I still to this day have to, like midstream, I'm looking down going, okay, which is the X button? Like I don't know, and I still don't. Okay, it's up. You know, so I've been a PC gamer for like over half my life, so and even now, like Xbox, and I don't know about PlayStation, but I know at least Xbox, there's ways that you can mod it, and you can hook up a keyboard and a mouse to it and play with the keyboard and mouse instead of the controllers, and then if they find you doing it, they'll actually ban you. So it's like, well, why would people be using a keyboard and mouse on a console? You know, if they like the console better, it's because you get a better reaction time with a keyboard and a mouse versus, you know, controller, unless you're used to it. But there's a lot of games that they actually will ban you if they catch you doing that. So it's like, well, if these consoles are so much better than the, you know, the computer or the PC, you know, whatever. So it's like, why are they going to these keyboard and, you know, mice? But to go back to the PlayStation 5 being so low, I'm wondering if they made it as cheap as they possibly could, because all the games that they've ever released prior now will have like this insane resale value, because like people are going to go out and buy all these older PS1 games or PS2, PS3, whatever, at like garage sales and like sell them online for eBay. That's probably someone might want to do that, make some money. All these games that they've got collecting in dust, you know, like I've got, you know, Final Fantasy VIII for, you know, the PlayStation, like sitting here, like I could sell that, you know, because now it's got a resale value because people can actually play it on the new PlayStation, besides the remaster.
For sure. Exactly. No, for sure. What about you, Chadley? What are your thoughts, my friend?
Again, PlayStation, I haven't really followed much with the PlayStation stuff, but the backwards compatibility stuff sounds really awesome. Like if they were actually able to build it where it's backwards compatible, like all the way back to the PlayStation, then that'd be amazing. Just because I know they've tried doing the whole backwards compatibility stuff, and then like, well, PlayStation 3, it wasn't the greatest, right? Like they could do PlayStation 2, but not all PlayStation 1 or something like that. PlayStation 4 didn't have it at all, right?
None. Other than PlayStation Now.
So yeah, so it's kind of cool that like with such a system that they're coming out, that they're saying it's going to be like this high-powered system, that they would also take on that task of trying to make it so it's compatible with like all of its previous library of games too. So I mean that is a big selling point with that system, then, because like you're not only stuck to PlayStation 5 games. Like now you can pretty much get whatever game they've released for a PlayStation ever. Hopefully, that is anyway. I'm sure there's going to be caveats where some games they just can't get to work, but I mean, their library is massive. So like, even if they did like 80% of the games and have them working, you're still talking about like a ton of games that people maybe never had the opportunity to play, and now all they got to do is go buy a physical copy of a used game that maybe it's like 10 or 15 bucks, and now they can play it, and it's HD, and it's possibly going to be upscaled and whatever. So yeah.
No, for sure. And it's crazy because like I got really excited with the backwards compatibility. I was like, my main issue was, what about my PS4 games? That's all I kept saying, my PS4 games. And to think that it was gonna be backwards compatible, I was like, yes. And then to turn around and show off these load times and show off these graphics. Again, my computer, you know, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of us, our computers are very powerful. And to do what our computers are doing now, for some people it's even further than that, is a big thing. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Taco Team. Welcome to the family, Logan. How you doing, buddy? And Fearfly, thank you as well for subscribing. Welcome to the Taco Team. Welcome to the family, and everybody who's been subscribing. Thank you. So it's really amazing what we're getting out of this. Again, they're big shoes to fill because they're saying a lot of things that people are like, is that even possible? Are you gonna be able to do that? But we'll see. I mean, we've only gotten hints and rumors and some things that were for sure verified already, and some things that are just like, well, maybe it's gonna be doing this, or we saw prototypes of this. But Sony has a lot to live on, and right now they need to show us something because people are dying down for them. Their fire is at the very peak of nothingness. You know? Oh, what are you gonna do? All right, guys. This is what a lot of people have been waiting for. Let's go ahead and jump into Nintendo. Nintendo did their direct this September. It was like right at the beginning of the week. How did you guys feel about it? Was it strong? Was it okay? Was it weak? What did you guys enjoy most? What games are you excited for? What's the one thing that got you hyped? So I know that they showed tons of stuff. A lot of things that I was like, oh, they showed that already. And I know I got a lot of hate because I was like, well, I've seen that. I'm not really hyped for that. And we saw that. I'm not hyped for that. But what were you guys excited for? So let's go ahead and start with Zombie.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. Like, I'm a small child for Nintendo. Like,
yeah, I think we all are.
especially Super Nintendo wise. Like, so for one thing, we had Super Nintendo games. My entire Switch is themed after Super Nintendo. I even have my Super Nintendo controller like right there. Like so that right there, just like that took the entire direct for me immediately. Even though we should have had that for a long time now, that was cool. I'm a Smash fanatic, seeing that we got Terry Bogard. I've been playing SNK fighting games for a long time. It's kind of sad it wasn't Athena because she's got a longer history with that series, but
yeah,
Terry's beautiful. Was excited for that. Dropping Banjo on us out of nowhere, like everybody I know freaked out over that. Like that was great, and he's fun to play. He's not the best character, but he is a blast to play.
Yeah.
And that's just like the basic stuff. Like, for one, seeing what we did get to see of Animal Crossing, I'm excited for that. I wanted more info on Luigi's Mansion because I mean, it's coming out really soon. You thought we'd have more info on that, but there was it's one of those. Where do you start? Where do you even begin? There was so much with that direct. Like, I was impressed, which is also why I was so disappointed with Sony's. Was that there was so much in Nintendo's.
Yeah, and
Nintendo has a bad yet wonderful habit of saying, okay, well, here's the direct. Well, here's a thing for you today. Just ta-da! You immediately get this. And that's cool. Like, getting Banjo immediately, getting SNES games the very next day, telling us we're getting all these new cool things. I even like that weird, the way I know it wasn't shown during the direct, I like that weird, like, hula hoopy game, the fitness game. I want to play that. Like, stupidly bad. Kirby Super Clash, like, that looks amazing. Like, yeah, Ring Fit, that's what it's called. Like, Ring Fit just looks beautiful. It looks so bizarre, but new Wii Fit, we'll go for it. I'll play it. Why not? I have like 6 Wii Fit boards in my house. I mostly use them as TV stands, but I have them. But no, I I was impressed by it, but I do have to note that it's been a month later, and I barely remember a lot of it, other than the weird stuff like what we got immediately. Because
Yeah.
like I'm noticing a lot of these aren't sticking as hard as they used to. Because I mean, they cram so much. That's where Nintendo does have its fault, is they cram so much into a very short amount of time. So you have, unless it's like an actual Nintendo branded title like Luigi's Mansion, something new for Smash Brothers, or something like that, you're not going to remember a whole ton on it. Because like I think they had stuff like for like Dragon Quest in this one, but I don't remember much of it. And a lot of them start to, Deadly Premonition 2 plus Deadly Premonition Origins. Like we're getting a lot of like cool, weird stuff on the Switch now, and but they're weird off the wall stuff. They're not showing as much of. Their weird stuff is what they need to kind of push just a little more. Because if it's not a Nintendo title, we get like 30 seconds of it, and that's it.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I agree with you 100%. I mean, yeah. Before I start talking, go ahead, Ugly Stewie. What were you excited for, man?
The top thing I was excited for was definitely, what was the title of it? It was a remake of Secret of Mana 2, Trials of Mana.
Oh, Trials of Mana, yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw the original game pop up on the screen, I became a fangirl. I was screaming at that. I love the Secret of Mana back on the SNES. I played it all the time back on the SNES. Never completed it, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. A couple of other games I'm sure we're all looking forward to. Definitely Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
What else was there? Was something else that got my attention. Sonic and Mario at the Olympics. That was something I enjoyed playing back on the Nintendo Wii all the time.
No, for sure. For sure.
And yeah, on the subject of Smash, you were talking about Smash earlier.
Yeah.
They were talking about that there's more characters to come, which has got me even more excited. I'm still hoping for Spyro, obviously.
Yes, or Crash.
Spyro and Crash, yeah. And I've been having a lot of fun with the SNES games now that they're on the Switch.
Yeah.
We're playing a lot of them. Were you playing one of them, Regal, or were you actually playing that on the SNES, Yoshi's Island?
Oh, I was playing that on the actual console, yeah.
That was actually on the SNES. Well, I've certainly been having a lot of fun on them. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest come on to the SNES thing on the Switch.
For sure, for sure. Chadley, what about you, my friend?
Yeah, I agree that the directs, like, even though they have some pretty good information in them, there's so much stuff that gets crammed in, and I did watch it, but there's a lot of stuff, like, I don't remember, like, Overwatch was the first thing they unveiled, pretty much because it got leaked out, so they pretty much just like, oh, we'll just lead off with it. But I've never really been that much into Overwatch. Like, I do have Overwatch on the PC, I just never really got into it. I've been wanting to get into it, but again, catalog of games just keeps growing and growing, so it's just harder to, especially like that type of a game where it's not really a story driven type game. I'm sure there's a campaign to it, and I'm sure Remy would be able to tell me more and more about that game, but whether or not there's a campaign or not. And I mean, I like watching competitive play too sometimes with Overwatch, just the craziness that goes on in those competitive matches for that game. But the SNES games, like, that was a big highlight for me because, like, even though I enjoy NES games, like, Super Nintendo is where it really, like, that's when everything pretty much changed, you know? Like, the SNES games, like, are SNES and Genesis were, like, the two big things that a lot of people our age remember because that's what we grew up with. And then, of course, PlayStation followed after that. But yeah, SNES is, like, that's what I remember playing growing up, so I have a lot of nostalgia for a lot of the SNES games and things. Then they're just kind of porting over all these, like, weird old titles, like Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, which is supposedly a very good game because I have it on the GameCube, so, like, I own it already on the GameCube, which I thought was kind of odd that they were bringing it to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess out of all the other Star Wars titles, this one made sense because I guess it was probably the one that sold the best when it was originally released. Then Doom 64, which apparently never has been released on any other system
Yeah.
other than the Nintendo 64. So that was kind of cool to see that one coming, especially since they're bringing over pretty much literally almost every other Doom game that was ever released over to the Switch. So it just makes sense that they would bring this one over as well.
So much
Um,
hype.
But yes, I mean, and then Pokemon, like, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I am enjoying playing through Fire Red.
Mhm.
That I'm playing that on my channel, and I'm almost done with that. But I'm still kind of like up in the air. Am I really considered a Pokemon fan? You know, like I'm not like I'm not someone that gets really crazy about Pokemon, but I do enjoy playing the game. So, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, I would have loved to hear more about Luigi's Mansion and that kind of thing, because that's one of the games I'm really excited for. Link's Awakening, I don't have it yet, but I want to play that one as well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me on the Nintendo Direct. So
For sure. Mama Remy.
Okay, so the Super Nintendo part I fangirled over because that's like my favorite console of like all time. And it's like I play Link's Awakening, or not Link's, well, okay, Link to the Past every year on my birthday and Final Fantasy IV. And I have to like bust out my Super Nintendo with the old school like the adapters. It's got like the 4 different adapters. You gotta put it into like the cable part of the whatever the port's called in the back of the TV, and then I gotta switch it to channel 3, and then I gotta change the input on my TV. It's such a pain in my butt. So it's like, oh my god, it's like coming out, and I can actually play it on my Switch. So it's like I could just sit here in my office, I can play like my favorite game, So I was like super excited about that. And then Breath of Fire is in the the Super Nintendo Online, which I have been talking about a lot, but it's a really good game. Go play it. I was kind of excited for the Doom 64 because I remember playing the original, like the first game, like when it came out because it came out for PC too. And I remember my dad getting it. I remember watching my dad play it. And then I tried playing it. I sucked really bad at it and it scared the crap out of me. But I remember playing it. So it was just like, oh, it's like nostalgia and stuff like that. But Pokemon Sword and Shield, Poltegeist, oh my god, it's adorable. We have such like this huge like love for ghosts on our channel. So the fact that there's like a ghost inside of a teacup, and I love coffee so much, and it's in a little teapot thing. It's like gotta have it. So I was like, super excited about all that. And then I mean, I was excited for like Smash, like the second DLC Fighter Pass, even though I don't really play it anymore.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that there was more people coming. And then I know a lot of people were excited, the Xenoblade Chronicles remake, remaster, one of the two. But I mean, otherwise, the other thing I can remember that I was excited about was the themes for Tetris 99 were really cool. It's like, oh, look at the theme. There's that theme. There's this theme. And it's like, oh, those look so cool. It's like, but I've never played this game, so.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was super stoked. I got really excited. To be honest, I didn't get a chance to watch the Smash Bros thing that they did afterwards. But, them showing off Sans, I know people were just hyped to the max with that. My hype game was Luigi's Mansion. For me, that's the game that I'm waiting for. I've been dying for that game. I'm excited for that game. I never got a chance to play the one on the 3DS. I heard it wasn't that good, but I really enjoyed the one on the GameCube. That was my game. And yeah, to see them release the what do you call it, the Doom 64 on the console, and then they turn around and start releasing Overwatch. And I like that a lot of these game creators are making their games come out on the Switch, and they're taking the time to do this. I mean, Nintendo's like, they're bringing their game. They're bringing their A game, hands down. I love Smash Bros. I can't enjoy it because unfortunately, with all these server issues that you always get with them, it's hard to enjoy it, you know? It's so hard. But I'm so surprised with everything they've been releasing with it. What?
Sands for Smash.
Yeah, those sands. I know.
Almost
I know.
makes me want to break it back out.
I know.
Almost.
Me too. Like, I enjoy playing it, but again, we always get that lag issue, and then people are like blaming other people, and it causes a big ruckus sometimes. But
I'll admit. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'll admit, I do have that worry also with Overwatch that maybe we're going to have server issues being on the Switch. I
And
was
that's-
really excited for it being on Switch because they said Blizzard when Switch came out said it'll never be on it. It won't happen. So
Yeah.
like it coming out is exciting, but now I'm worried about will we be able to actually play it because that's online all the time.
Yeah,
Online
no,
only.
you're right. It's scary to think of that. I've never thought of that. You're right. And one of the things like
because it's gonna be so pretty.
yeah, for sure. No, and it's like I said, Nintendo's really bringing their A game. Pokemon, I'm very excited for. I can't wait for Sword. That's the one I'm picking up. I'm super stoked for it. I can't wait. Then like I said, Luigi's Mansion. We got our SNES thing that was really a surprise. I wasn't like I couldn't believe it. I was like, what even? You know, I was kind of disappointed that they put Joe and Mac. A lot of people don't know Joe and Mac, and the fact that they brought that out was very surprising to me. But I didn't see Zombies Ate My Neighbor, and I thought they would.
That's so sad.
It is because
It's a good game.
it is. Everybody always says SNES. Oh, Zombies Ate My Neighbor. You know, everybody knows Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I did not eat any neighbors.
But yeah, I think I think they did a really good job, and Nintendo's moving forward with this for sure. But there is some bad news with Nintendo, people. There's some stuff coming out for Nintendo. So most of you know, Nintendo did release their Switch Lite, and it did really well. It was doing amazing. But then they're joining the lawsuit now because their Joy-Cons apparently are drifting, and it's happening sooner than the original console is drifting. This is bad. This is bad news for Nintendo. What do you guys think? How do you think this is going to affect Nintendo? And do you think the sales will be affected because of all this? So, Zombie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I haven't put hands on a Lite yet. So, like, I can't say a whole lot on it. But I can say that the stick drift issue shouldn't be one.
Yeah.
Especially with the Lite. All right, this right here is my Pro Controller. I took it apart and replaced its thumbsticks.
I remember when you did that.
Done it for my Joy-Cons. I've replaced every thumbstick, and I put in, all it takes is little bracer brackets on each one of these.
Mhm.
Sorry, Super Nintendo thingy. All it takes is little bracer brackets on each one of these, because it's these little white bits where the bracers are on the inside of the stick, and that's all it takes to prevent it from scratching up, because that's what's happening, is it's scratching the sensors.
Mhm.
That's what's happening. When it gets to the point where like cleaning it doesn't do anything, all this, because it's scratched. It is scratched a mess and back. Because of the way the plastic is. It's a hard plastic against a plastic sensor screen, so it needs a buffer, and that's it. It needs a little bit of spacing. It's not a hard fix. It would take literally just a couple of cents per, which adds up in the long run. I get it, but it'll save them a lot more than what it's going to cost to replace every single Joy-Con.
Yeah.
They should have already done this. I've done so many. I've had to replace so many, so I wouldn't have to get rid of my favorite Joy-Cons. I've had to replace so many thumbsticks, and it's not a hard fix. But Nintendo should do it. We shouldn't have to fix it ourselves. And the Switch Lite should definitely not have this problem. It should have, like, it looks like it has better thumbsticks. From what I've seen, it looks like an upgrade all around, as far as like portability wise. So I want to be honest. If that's the case, I'm pretty ticked off because I was actually going to buy one next week. That makes me kind of because it's not a hard fix. Why is that still breaking?
Yeah.
Come on, Nintendo. You even admitted the problem. You're replacing these for free for people now. This is a bigger deal. This is not okay.
No, I 100% agree with you.
Sorry. And the Pro Controllers are getting that issue now too. We're seeing
Yeah.
it a lot with them now too, and that's like, if Sony can make a controller that can last forever, and Nintendo can make a N64 controller, that wibbly wobbly joystick of death and doom that destroyed palms back in the 90s, like, why can't a Nintendo Switch controller, Pro or Joy-Con wise, work right?
For sure. For sure.
Nintendo was all about quality. Come on.
One.
That's the one.
That's the exact one I'm talking about. If that thing can live forever, why can't my other one work?
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Stewie, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm the same as Zombie. I haven't actually got my hands on one. I don't see any point in getting one for myself because it's just the same games, isn't it? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Or is it different ones on that? But I do have one little question. I'm not exactly an expert on technology for these things, but if the Joy-Cons are actually part of the console, then shouldn't it actually have better like contact, if you know what I mean?
Well, that would depend on what they have attached to the board. Because like literally the thumbsticks for these are just this little square with a thumbstick and sensors on the bottom underneath the thumbstick itself, and it's literally just put on the board, and a ribbon cable attaches it to the board itself and locks it into place.
Right.
That's the way a lot of controllers do it nowadays, like Sony, Microsoft, all of them. So even
I
with
just thought
that,
it would have had like better direct contact with the console itself, and I didn't expect it would actually be worse than the actual Nintendo Switch. So I'm actually quite surprised at that.
Yeah, well,
the problem's not the connection between the console and the controller. It's the actual joystick itself. Like the actual hardware is getting damaged to the point where it's causing the drift. So the system, so what you're talking about, Stewie, is something different because when the Switch first came out, they were having issues with the sensor.
Right.
And they fixed that issue as well and then even in the newer Joy-Cons, if you compare old Joy-Con with the new one, they moved the sensor down below, like near the bottom of the controller instead of it being on top of it. And that's all they needed to do to make sure that the connection from console to Joy-Con was like secure enough or strong enough. But this problem is totally different. This is all just hardware being damaged because of the fact that there's something scratching, and then it's not able to read the joystick's position correctly, which then causes the drift because you move to the left and it keeps moving to the left because it doesn't know that you moved it back to the resting position of the joystick.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
apparently they're using the exact same joysticks on the Lite, which is why everybody's up in arms and stuff, because instead of using the fixed upgraded joysticks that they're giving everybody for those Joy-Cons, so now they're just like using the old ones because they still have them available or something.
Yeah.
maybe it's an overstock or something like that, but that's still not okay.
No, for sure. I mean, you're still spending money, right? So, Mama Remy, what are your thoughts on this?
I said this last TacoCast, and I'll say it again. I told you so. It's gonna cost $15, and you're gonna have to ship it to Nintendo, and you're gonna lose your entire console. And so what are you supposed to do? Because the Joy-Cons take 2 weeks. How long is it gonna take to get your Switch Lite fixed? So you're gonna lose your entire console while you're getting it fixed. That's why I said I wasn't getting one. So told you so. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and doing
Now,
the trading for that's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I wonder now, because I know for free you can send your old Joy-Cons and they will fix them for free. Does that mean, are they doing the same thing for the Switch Lite? But you got to send your whole console, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't looked it up, but have they said they are?
The Joy-Cons don't come off on the Lite, so you have to send your entire console, which means that in transit, the screen could get damaged, the rest of the thing could get damaged. If you accidentally put a game in it, does it pop? Do they take that stuff out? Could get stolen. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go wrong by shipping your entire console to get fixed.
Well, with the shipping stuff, the issue is that it'll still be within warranty, so that's something that Nintendo would cover. That's a hardware issue. They cover that easy as long as you don't drop kick it.
Yeah.
and they make you take your game out and all this, that, and the other, but you shouldn't have to send your console out. They don't send you a replacement console to play during that 2 weeks that you don't have one.
No, for sure.
You pay $200 on a console plus game, and if Lord help you, if your entire library is digital on top of that, like you're not it's taking forever for you to get all that stuff back. And there's games like Pokemon doesn't have backup saves. Splatoon doesn't have backup saves. If you're a Splatoon player, you're replacing all that gear again. I've had to do that with their Switch docks that nerfed mine. They don't save that stuff. You don't get that data back if they have to replace a lot, unless they do just a very simple repair. But Nintendo almost never does. They flush the system, so you're going to lose that data, and they tell you you're going to lose it.
Yeah,
which if you're someone who plays Splatoon for 300 hours.
No, exactly. That sucks. Yeah. Holy, yeah, I never thought of that. And that's the thing. Like, I didn't pick one up. Obviously, I don't need to pick one up. But in my head, I thought they were gonna fix that issue. I was hoping they would, because again,
I thought so too. That's depressing.
It is. It's sad. I feel bad for all those people who bought one and are getting drifting now. That sucks. You know? There's no excuse. No, there is no excuse for it. Exactly. There is no excuse for it. And this may hurt sales in the long run for the Lite. People are going to be, why am I going to get the Lite if they're not fixing this issue? You know, or I'm losing my console for a little bit, which sucks. I have 1,000 hours on Splatoon. I would cry if they, right? I know there's a lot of people who have lots of hours in Splatoon, and that would suck to lose it all.
Can't.
Right?
Not again.
So a while back, I know that there was this huge thing going on with Disney and Sony with Spider-Man, and then they came out saying that they had lost. Like, Sony was taking Spider-Man and Disney lost it, and that was it. But apparently it came out to be that the terms, so Disney agreed to Disney's terms and altered after the negotiations went public. So Disney now has to finance 25%, and they will receive 25% of equity stake on the films. So in saying that, what do you think is going to happen, and how is this going to impact future games, well, Spider-Man games, for us? Is Disney going to be able to put their ideas into games? Because I'm assuming since they own 25%. And what does this mean for Spider-Man in the MCU universe in general for games and movies? So this, I know it's a little bit off topic, but it does affect gaming because, you know, Spider-Man does come out on console all the time. So let's start with Zombie.
Well, for one, I completely agree with you on it affecting gaming, because Disney likes to get really handsy with their properties.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's really bad. So I do worry a little bit with them having a deeper grasp on the title for gaming wise, because I think it might make games like what we just got not as good. Like we might get an MCU Spider-Man tie-in and it not be the super swanky powerhouse that we just got. And I'm kind of surprised that Sony finally went with the Disney MCU deal just in general, because Disney makes all the profit off the toys and whatnot and all the market, like all the extra stuff, because they own the rights to that. Sony pretty much only gets the movie rights. And that's pretty much how that went last time around. I'm still kind of shocked that happened. I mean, I'm glad. I love Spider-Man. He's one of my favorites. But like, I will admit, I worry on the gaming aspect thing just because how deep Disney likes to reach in their games, and
yeah,
it can get bad.
No, for sure. I mean, look what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3. There was scenes where literally the PlayStation would say, cannot record this scene, or this section's not recorded or something, and I would have to switch or mute my music because of the fact that Disney would hit me so hard. Yeah.
And like, they made Frozen have to be done the way that it was. They made a lot of the worlds have to be done the way that they were, and it made them feel like they held a lot of punches back in Kingdom Hearts. Like, a lot. It seemed very, very watered down, very, let's be kid safe. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Kingdom Hearts, it's kid safe, but I mean,
yeah,
it pulled a lot of punches. especially in the frozen world, which is super long
Yeah.
for them to do that with. And even the way I did love Corona, which was Tangled's world. I did love that world. You could see it very heavily in that one too. And because they have kind of weird stuff with Pixar at the time and didn't have all of their licensing all in a row, Remy doesn't have a name in that game.
Yeah.
Remy's just called the Little Chef the entire time. It's really weird. It bothers me.
Remy, you're the little chef.
Remy's our little chef. That's for you. I didn't think about that.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Ugly Stewie?
Well, I've actually got to be honest. I haven't really followed the likes of Spider-Man in a long, long time. I've never really followed the likes of DC and Marvel, so I don't really know much about it. But I do agree that Disney have been a bit strict with their a bit over strict with their content being shared on the internet and stuff, which I do think is a bit silly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially when people are streaming the likes of Kingdom Hearts, like Zombie was talking about. And I understand people were getting strikes just because of cutscenes that they had put into the game.
We did.
It
hurt.
Chadley, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't follow much about it. I just, when I saw the whole thing about Disney and Sony making their own, like, separating because they couldn't come to an agreement on certain things, so now Spider-Man can't be in the MCU anymore, can't be in the movies anymore. And then, like, a couple days ago, I see, like, oh, no, don't worry, we made up, and all is good now, and Spider-Man can be back in the MCU, and all this stuff, and it's like, it's just too much drama. It's like I figured this was gonna happen, where it was kind of like they just wanted to have publicity at this point. Like they just wanted to make this thing so that everybody's talking about it, and then it's like Sony and Disney decided, oh well, it's not so bad, and they decided to go with what the original agreement that they had all along. I'm like, if Sony didn't really want to do that, was there another reason why they just kind of temporarily broke ties? And it's just like, I don't have time to follow all that stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm glad that they were able to work it out and be able to continue to use Spider-Man in the MCU and things like that. But so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know. It's just so weird, like, because Spider-Man's literally like the last franchise that Disney / Marvel have to be able to get acquired again for them to basically own all of their properties again. So, and Sony's never going to let go. So, yeah. So once that happens and Sony decides, like, okay, we're done with Spider-Man, and Marvel is able to get Spider-Man, like that'll be a good day. So.
Yeah, for sure. Mama Remy, what are your thoughts on all this craziness?
You mean we're actually gonna get something besides like Spider-Man 1 remade 3 times? We might actually get like a normal like Spider-Man movie that's not the same movie remade over. Well, oh my god!
Are you okay?
Dryden like poked his head in. I seen something like right here. And it's like
spooky.
Right.
Good night. Oh god, my heart. Okay.
You mean you don't want another Spider-Man movie? I would love to see Spider-Man 1 remade for the 4th time.
Movie, but not the same one remade 3 different times. And then with Disney getting it, it's like now it's like Spider-Man DLC for all these games. Anyone?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. My heart stopped beating, so I'm done.
Oh, now you
gonna
can.
die. I'm just gonna die. Don't eat my brains.
All right, guys. So this last one has been finicky because this is it can be very touchy, and it can be, you know, some people are hating, some people are not. It depends. So YouTube about a week ago they were to change the rules when it came to getting verified with them. Everybody was in a big uproar about it. A lot of big YouTubers not only didn't like these changes, but they lost verification. A lot of them did. Because basically, I believe it was like they wanted you to be recognized outside of YouTube and just a bunch of different rules that were coming up. But then after this uproar, about 3 days after or so, they came out and retweeted. Hold on, let me get this retweet, and I quote, "We heard loud and clear how much the badge means to you. Channels that are currently have verification will now keep it without an appeal. We'll continue to review those channels to ensure we're protecting creators and more changes to come," basically. So looks like they went back and they're keeping it at 100,000K subs and authenticating and completing this like personal worksheet that they do, and then you get verification. In saying that though, where are we? I lost myself here. So in saying that, how did you all feel about this? And do you think that, how did this basically make YouTube look after all this and before all this? So I know a lot of people are already having issues with YouTube, and I see it all the time on Twitter. So let's go ahead and start with Zombie.
I will admit, I'm going to be honest. I'm a small timer. I'm a small time YouTuber. I don't know if I will ever see that verification check mark. But for them to sit there and like throw like this big hammer on top of everybody saying that not only are you not going to see it anytime soon, but we're going to make it a lot harder for you to get your hands on. Like, you need presence all over the internet. I'm known in 2 places, Discord and here. I need to use Twitter. I need to use these things more, but I don't. I don't know how to. I'm kind of weird when it comes to that, I guess. But why do I need to be verified on Twitter? Why do I need to be verified on like Instagram or something like that when I am a YouTuber? They should be ecstatic about the fact that the place I am majorly known is here. Like that's where their money is here. That's where they should want you. That makes it easier for them to confirm who you are, is for you being through here. And them taking away the check mark from so many people, that's dangerous. That got real dangerous real fast, because that means that anybody with their icon, which you can get any YouTuber's icon by left clicking it or right clicking it and opening it up in another window, you now have their icon. Download it and use it. Test that out if you don't believe me. That's scary. That's spooky. If you're on their channel, just do that. So you can just do that, type in your name, because they don't make everybody's name different anymore. They don't make you got to have a completely different name like they used to when they started this. Boom, there you go. You're now that person. And it's very easy to be that person going to, like us, we're live streamers. You pop into somebody's chat without that verification symbol. Like, how do we know who the mess you are? Like, if they remove PewDiePie's checkmark, well, now anybody can be PewDiePie. You don't know if he's coming in and dropping all these. If he comes in as a troll, how do you know that's the real him or not? I mean, that's an extreme example, but it made things very dangerous for a lot of the bigger YouTubers. It makes it harder for us to eventually get verified as well, which we want that verification, not because it's a check mark, because once you get to a certain size, you need to be proven who you are, because you're bigger, because more people see you, more people know who you are. If more people see you and you're in this vast, if you have like a vast reach, a vast influence, and you can't verify who they are, all sorts of horrible things can be done in your name.
Yeah.
That's scary. Yeah, look at, as Brian J says, look at VN. I know a lot of you know VNtastic. I know a lot of our people in here know VNtastic. If they removed VNtastic's thing, a lot of people use VNtastic's name. I see VNtastic people in my streams all the time, as well as Mama Remy's streams. I see people with his icon and his name. But I know when I see him, because he has a check mark next to his name, I know who he is. I can be like, this is my buddy. Yay. Instead of someone impersonating my buddy who could say all sorts of horrible things, they could call me all sorts of horrible names, and then I could hate them and send hate their way. Which, I mean, I would never send hate anybody's way. That's just bad things happen. But, like, that's what could happen. And that's scary. Why
Yeah,
make
no.
that harder?
For sure. For sure. Mr. Ugly Stewie, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, personally, this is actually one of the many reasons that I've moved most of my stuff to Twitch now. I mean, I'm still using YouTube, but just because of how YouTube have been acting recently, and these other companies as well, claiming copyright for the stupidest things. I lost my train of thought. What was I about to say? Yeah, the fact that YouTube are like pushing things forward because they raise the amount of subscribers you need for like the emotes and stuff, whatever you call it.
Yep, the members.
Yeah, I can't remember what they raised it to. Was it like 30,000 or something?
30,000.
30,000 for anyone not a gaming channel.
Yeah.
Oh, so it didn't affect gaming channels then. I can't remember how it went.
They keep jumping back and forth on whether they are or are not. They're supposed to be 30,000 across the board now, but their page doesn't state it. So you can
Right.
fight for it and get it anyway if you are under that 30.
Okay, well, yeah, there's quite a number of reasons. Like, I recently lost a few uploads that were like over a year old because they're now being claimed as copyrighted, which is ridiculous.
Oof.
So
No,
yeah,
for sure.
that's why I've pretty much moved most of my stuff over to Twitch now.
Yeah, for sure. Chadley, what are your thoughts, my friend?
I mean, I think it was a move basically because shortly before YouTube made that announcement, Twitter said they were changing how they were going to do it too for verification stuff. They wanted to make sure that something along the lines that they wanted to have verification be more used for like celebrities, big name like companies and stuff like that, where like, yeah, you could still, or like, I guess you had to be someone that was, I guess like in the social limelight, I guess is a good way to put it. And I don't know if YouTube was trying to do that too, maybe thinking that like maybe the verification process was like getting too easy because all these people's channels were growing and getting to the point where they could get verification. But I mean, ultimately, it's more than just a check mark. Like they were playing it off like, oh, it's just this check mark, but we're going to change the look of it, but we're also going to change the requirements of it. But like, yeah, like you guys all made good points about it. Like that verification is not just like people wanting the check mark. Like you get to that size of a channel, like you're no longer just somebody doing YouTube. Like you're probably doing this full time. You're well known in the community. Like you have gotten to that status where that verification badge, like you need to have that because like Zombie was saying, it's so easy to impersonate someone online, whether it's Twitter or even Facebook or anything. Because like I don't know how many times I've gotten Facebook friend requests from accounts that have the same first and last name of someone that I'm already friends with. And then they try to make it sound like, oh, this is my new account, friend me, blah, 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 you know? So it like happens everywhere. And like, if you don't have access to that verification badge, even though you like deserve to have it, it's not like a status symbol. It's like, it's more for protection. Like Zombie was saying, like you have somebody start saying bad things about you, and if you don't have that verification, they have no idea if it's you actually saying it or if it's someone else impersonating you. So
yeah.
So I think like it was a good move on their part to realize that like that verification badge, the majority of the community, they know why it's there. They're not trying to abuse it, and they're not just trying to get it just for status. Like they're getting it and they're using it for the right purpose.
Yeah.
And they got upset because they knew why it was there and it's now being taken away. So
yeah, no, exactly. And like a lot of people don't know this, but when YouTube first started, your name was unique to you. So you would click on it, and if I had Spanishdude, no one can have Spanishdude, and they would add, you know, the or 1 2 3 or 4 5 6. Now it's like you said, anyone can just put the name in and there you go. Yeah, you got the name. Whereas before it was really hard. You had a unique name. You know, you could use your Hotmail or your Gmail or whatever you wanted to use to open an account. And yeah, they've I don't know. I think they should go back to the days where you had your unique name and that was it.
I agree. I want to know why they changed it, because like my name was made back when that was a thing, because I had like all sorts of different zombie names that I could have put in and all sorts of words I could put in, and this was like the only one I had that no one had.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was Google that changed it when they bought YouTube.
Yeah, it was
It's linked
Google.
in with your Google account and your Google name.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mama Remy, what are your thoughts on all this craziness?
I don't think it was great of them to take away like YouTubers' hard work to getting up to that point and then receiving like reward. It's like, oh hey, you know, you hit a milestone, here's a reward. And it's like, oh, you know, sorry, I changed my mind, you can't have it anymore. So it was kind of like a slap in the face. So I can understand why a lot of people are mad. I do, however, like the fact that they changed the check mark to the colored name, like the grade color name, because the check mark was easy to like fake as well. So people found ways around that. So the fact that they've got like the color change to the name gives it it makes them stand out a little better. The check mark's not gonna be there anymore, but like a different like verification like color. I think it's gray now with like the slash. It's kind of like a slash box, like a box with like part of it cut off or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna stand out a little more, and that can't be fake, or at least that's gonna be really hard to fake. And, you know, and change and whatnot. So it's gonna make them stand out a little easier and not be like, oh well, you know, I'll go for Zombie for example. You know, like when Fantastic comes to the streams, it's like, oh, it's Fantastic because it's got the little check mark. You know, beforehand, you know, when Vian would come to the streams, you'd have to like, you know, go to the little 3 dots. You'd have to go to his channel and make sure it actually was him and not some impersonator. You know, but that, you know, these people have these checks. It's easier to acknowledge that it's them, but even then, checks are, you know, easy to, you know, fake if you do it right. And with the graphical change to the verification, I think it'll be a lot easier for people to, you know, stand out. But I mean, otherwise, it's YouTube shouldn't have done what they did. And then, but at the same time that they obviously are listening to people because of all the outrage that people like outcried and like did like towards them to get it like changed or reverted back. It's like, now why can't they do that with other things? They listen about certain things, but not about other things.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, it's hard. Like, it's so hard to look at it. Like, one of the things that I tell people is, YouTube does a lot of things. They will do a lot of things, but so do a lot of other platforms. You know, so maybe YouTube is wrong on some sections, but then we also remember there's also other platforms that do 10 times worse or only focus on certain things. I mean, I was upset because one of the things that bugged me the most was they're basically like you said, Zombie. They're basically saying, or Chadley too, you have to be this mega star like Jimmy Fallon to get this check mark, you know. And it's like, well, what if we're not? We got the 100K and we're only in Discord and that's it, you know. So that was my upset for it. I was happy they backtracked and I was happy they recognized, but that's just one recognition over 100 other problems that people are pointing out, you know. And I don't know, like at this point, I'm still going on YouTube. I'm still going strong. There are issues, and one of the biggest issues that I'm looking at right now that I'm facing myself is how they're doing subscriptions by tens now. And I can't stand that because, like, I know that maybe I'll have 4,135 subscribers, but you guys are only going to see the 30. You won't see the actual, you know, the 36 or the 37. You'll only see the 30. You know, and then people are like, well, you're not growing. I had it like the last couple times that I've been streaming. They're like, how come you're not growing? But I didn't notice that until somebody brought it up to my attention and said, well, they're doing it by tens now. You know, so if we click, it says 4140 now, but you won't see if I have 4141 or 4142. You're only gonna see the 4140. So I don't know. They have some good things. They have some bad things, or they take one step forward and take like 4 steps back. So I think they need to reevaluate what they're doing on this platform. I know they're strong, and I know there's some YouTubers, like big YouTubers, who have started their own platform and they're trying to grow that. But there's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other platforms that are trying to compete with YouTube. Or it's like YouTube trying to compete with Twitch, and people have to remember, YouTube is very new to streaming world. Very new. And Twitch has been here for years and years and years. So comparing the two is very difficult, you know? Master Eagle, thank you for that $5, man. Super appreciate that. Everyone, hashtag Master Eagle in the chat.
Keep it up. Everything will work out.
I can.
Again. But, you know, I've always told people, and I say it all the time, to those who want to be YouTubers, to those who want to do content or are doing content, because things go south, don't give up. Don't give up, because giving up or changing or going to another platform and you're just giving up will actually bring your channel a step back hugely. I've seen it before. I see it a lot of channels where they go to another platform because they're not happy with their platform, and then they're not happy on that platform because they have to start all over again, and they come back here and now they're only getting 4 to 5 people watching them, and they complain that they're not being viewed anymore, or they're not being this, or they're not being that. So don't give up, guys. You cannot give up. It's a work in progress. And for those who want to make this into a career, into a job, again, it's a lot of work and struggle, and you can't give up. I mean, that's my advice to a lot of you. Hey, thank you for the $2 donation, Jay. Super.
Brian J, much love, my friend.
Brian, thank you very much, man. Just cause I love it. Super awesome. But yeah, you know, that's
Just
my
'cause
advice
I
to a lot of
can.
you. That's my advice to a lot of you. I know people who have been doing this for 6 years, 7 years, and have just got noticed. And I know people who've been doing it for a year and exploded. It's a hit or miss, realistically. You know, you can get noticed, you can't get noticed. It's a hit or miss, and realistically, there's a lot of laws when it comes to being a content creator that people don't realize, or people don't take into actual consideration, where they're like, well, it's my channel and I'm gonna do it this way. Sometimes, yes, I get that it's your channel, but that doing it that way will affect you in the long run, or may affect you, or will give you a negative or positive feed. So it's realistically like, why aren't I growing? Look at your channel, figure it out. That's how I say. Anyways, my friends, what time is it? It is 10:20. Guys, we had a great TacoCast, I believe. Zombie, thank you very much for joining us, my friend. I know you...
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you have a busy schedule. Ugly Stewie, I know that you're on the other side of the world, and you took the time out to come out and join us as well. Mama Remy, Chadley, you guys, thank you for taking time out for your busy schedules as well. Guys, everybody's link is in the description below. Go check them out. They're super awesome, very friendly. Ugly Stewie has a little bit of a non-family friendly side to his streams, but he's super awesome, and you'll love him as much as I do. Believe
Fair
me.
warning, I do too. I was like, whoops.
I'm PG-13 too. Like, I swear all the time on my stream it comes out. But
Same.
you guys definitely want to go check them out. Go show them some
Poor
love.
Chadley and I.
Chadley and Mama Remy, super family friendly. It's okay. It's not bad. Nothing bad about that. Not at all.
And thank you all the peeps in chat for chilling with us.
Yeah, thank you everybody who's come out and joined us for this wonderful podcast. Join us next month for another, and at the end of at the end of the month, on the last weekend is what I want to say, we do our TacoCast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you again, my friends. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget the most important thing in the whole wide world. Come to my live stream. I'm super famous. Take care. Have a good... Wait. No. We're not leaving. I just remembered something. We have to raid.
Right!
We have to raid.
Are you ending and not raiding as I just usually usually you find a raid. And
We're not raiding.
It's
What am
time
I?
for a raid.
We're
Raid
not raiding. All right,
time.
let's take a look.
Time.
Let's see. Who can we raid? Who can we raid? What are you guys in the mood to see? We have someone playing Silent Hill. We have someone playing Link's Awakening.
Oh. Sorry, I'm a horror buff. I got excited.
We have someone playing Dead by Daylight.
Ooh.
Oh, there's so many we can pick from. We have someone playing Pokemon as well. Anybody have someone new that maybe I don't know about?
Wait. I'll see. I got lots of peeps. Let's see. I got somebody playing Splatoon. I got someone playing Metal Gear. Let's see.
Wait for the page to load. There we go.
What are you playing?
Got someone playing the Stranger Things of Dead by Daylight.
Because
We're talking about
we have
Stranger
like
Things.
29 peeps right now on here, and it would be an epic raid.
It would. It would. Okay, let's see.
Have we ever
hold on.
rated?
I'm seeing
have we
Mario
ever
Kart, Super Mario Maker.
Have you ever raided who, Chadley?
Nintagious.
I was just gonna suggest him.
He's playing Astral Chain right now,
Ooh, that's a good game.
but I don't
He
think
could
we.
use
It's
the
been a while since
raid.
I've been able to.
I don't think we've ever raided him, to be honest.
He's
And-
not.
He's what?
He's not family friendly, but he should know by the people in the chat that come in to warn everybody.
I do have someone. They're a smaller streamer, but they're really chill, and they play a little bit of everything. Right now they're playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. Their name is Sensei Rain. I'm not sure if any of y'all are familiar with them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rings a
I'm
bell.
familiar with him too.
Sensei Rain?
Rain.
RANE.
He's really chill, dude.
They were Aceroni Gaming or S.
Yeah, they used to be
They
under
were
a different name.
Aceroni.
And
They
Aceroni.
were.
Okay.
They wanted something easier for people to pronounce. And they're always teaching people, so it worked out well for them. It's even Otteron knows. Otteron knows.
Yeah.
I can't find him. Why can't I find him? Can someone send me his link? I can't find him.
I'll just
No,
send you.
I'll do the thing. I'll do the thing.
It's all race to see who can do it first.
Oh, they're big. She got
So it shows up first for me, though.
I see Chadley. Okay, so let's see if I can find him here, and then. So we do
that was
TacoCast
me.
raid is
Sorry.
what we do.
Thought that was a cat for a second.
I have Tourette's, and my tick is I wind up meowing a lot. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
All right, let's go ahead and raid him then. Let's give him a raid, and we will do hashtag TacoCast raid.
TacoCast raid.
TacoCast raid.
That's what we're gonna be using. There's his link, my friends. Let me go ahead and raid him, and I'll pull up his link so everybody can see him.
I have to use this keyboard because I broke the other one. Hold on.
Oh no!
I spilled my drink on it.
It's showing the black screen. Oh
I'm
no!
gonna be so
What the
excited.
heck? Why is it showing the black screen? Oh no! I won't be able to show you guys.
Oh no, it's a big one too.
Hype! Hype!
Oh, the
He's so
hype is
excited!
real. He's so happy.
He's so. I told you he was gonna be so excited.
Oh no.
Oh, he doesn't know what to do.
Three people who know what happens when we get raided.
We broke him. We broke him.
He doesn't know what to
Hey,
do.
someone's been to Ireland.
Oh my god, Stevie the Unicorn subscribed. Oh man, it's happening, dude.
Y'all will love this guy. He's such a good guy.
Gonna fall on my
He
face.
is.
Oh no! It closed. Why did it close?
Do the thing.
I'm doing the
It's
thing.
happening.
There we go.
guys. Oh my god, it's still happening. I said it now before I can't see anymore. We got
There he is.
Stevie the Unicorn. Sir Nigel.
Nigel.
Mama Remy, Zombies Go Numb. Dude, how you doing? Bala,
Everyone,
Rhinosaurus.
make
Dude, I haven't seen you in a
sure
minute.
you hit
DDD,
like button
Lightfoot,
and show your
Spanish
love.
Dude, Joel, Ugly Stewie. You know what? I like Ugly Stewie better than Pretty Stewie, if we're being honest. Too many people that know what's about to happen. Bookie.
Excitement.
What is he gonna? I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. I want to see now.
Oh my god! My scroll like skipped forward. Almeg Dad.
He has a new
Alexander. Inuyugi Hakusho.
He tries to recognize everybody
Shonen
first.
Jump. Just all of it in one nice perfect.
Only 15 like hey, we gotta fix that. More likes.
Already smashed.
Oh, now we have to do double dance time. Holy crap. Okay. All right, guys, it's happening.
Do the thing.
Master Ego. Hey, Master Ego. I haven't seen you in a minute, man.
Do the thing.
Oh, my God. A lot is happening right now.
It's coming.
Oh no, it stopped. He's drinking.
I have to do 2 dances in a row. Ooh, Project Shoniter. Project Shoniter. So we have a tradition here on Sensei Rain in that we celebrate a raid with the dance of my people. And by
The dance of my people?
I mean the worst dancing that could possibly ever occur. So, enjoy the dance. And then I guess I'll go right into another dance because we hit the dance time donation goal. So, yay! All right, let me cue up the Muzak here. I haven't had to use it in a minute. Where is it? Oh, crap.
Do the
I'm gonna have to
thing.
do a system search for it, aren't I? No?
No.
It's here.
It's on your buttons.
Where are
I promise.
you?
I promise it's on your buttons.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad if it's not here. I think I found this.
We're patiently waiting, guys. I want to see this.
What crap is it? I'm growing. I know, man. It's happening. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
It's really, really loud in my ears. Raids are coming. What do you think we should do? Should we call the police? I got another idea in mind. It's the raid dance. It's time to raid dance. It's time to raid dance. Get down and raid dance.
I've never seen moves like that, have you, Jenny?
It's time to raid dance.
He's one of the best people to raid because you get very well rewarded for your raid. He appreciates it so. He shows true appreciation. I love it.
That was amazing.
I told you.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag worth.
Hashtag worth.
And people subscribe for the dance. That me on the floor there is me recovering from the heart attack. That dance time.
Oh my goodness.
Creates. Okay, so we get another dance here because donation goals are for real, yo.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god. Yeah. There's so much win in this sector.
Yes. Welcome to one of the happiest places on YouTube.
Apparently, yes.
I love them. They are so nice to everybody, and this is a blast. They are literally just a blast to have. I love it. I love it.
Oh, jeez! All right, guys.
Told you, best thing.
All right, guys. If you haven't already,
Best raid
please
ever.
go check out this lovely man, Sensei Rain. Go give him some love. Go give him. That was awesome. Again, Zombie, thank you again. Chadley, Ugly Stewie, Mama Remy. Of course, guys, go check them out. They're all in the description below. Go give them some love. All right, my friends, that's it for today. Take care, have a good one, and don't forget the most important thing in the whole wide world. Come to my live stream. I'm super famous. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go.
You gotta let her know.